I am Roger of Mickey's Roundtable. You will watch my video, you will hit the like button, and you will subscribe to my channel. All right, so that's a reference to, of course, Moana. If you've been to Epcot in the last few years, you've noticed a lot of construction walls. Part of the reason for those construction walls is for the new attraction, Journey of Water, inspired by Moana, which seems like a long name. Shouldn't it just be Moana's Journey of Water? If you ride the monorail, you can kind of get a peek in there. But today, I didn't have to ride the monorail to get a peek in there. I got to do a preview. I entered the Journey of Water play area over by the Seas Pavilion. As far as I can tell, once it is fully open, that will be the one entrance and exit will be on that side. There's some similar water features as there are up by the Imagination Pavilion with the leaping water things, but it is more than that, and it's not just fun, and it is a lot of fun, but it's educational as well. It's Epcot, so it has to be, right? Each of the different play areas is themed to a different part of the cycle of water. You know, water, it comes down in the form of rain, ends up forming streams, and those streams form rivers and lakes. And then the rivers end up going into the ocean, and then from the ocean it evaporates up into the air, and then it does the whole thing all over again. So each one of those areas has different water features that you can interact with, and I don't just mean touching it. You can actually control the water. The best water feature, as far as I could tell in my little bit of experience there, is towards the end, the ocean area, and it's better if you have a lot of people, or, you know, adults. There were some little kids there and they were trying to do it and it wasn't doing much for them. But you stand on certain spots and then there's sensors, and when you raise your hands up, the water brushes up over the top like the waves hitting the rocks on the edge of an ocean. And there's multiple paths through the area. It goes in a big loop, but there are sections where the path goes through an area where you will get wet, or a little bit wet. You don't get soaked. It's not like Splash Mountain or Cali River Rapids or an attraction like that. So you'll get a little bit wet, maybe your feet. But if you don't want to get wet at all, they'll have the dry path and the wet path. So you can make a choice which one of those you're going to do. I was on the monorail about a month or so ago and going overhead, and you could kind of see over those construction walls, and somebody else that was in the monorail car with me says, "Wow, that's really big." It's not that big, but it is big enough. And if you plan to go, you may get wet, you can get wet. If you bring kids, they will probably definitely get wet. It's more than just a splash pad kind of thing. And they have those throughout the various parks. But there is that interactive element to it that makes it fun, and if you want, there is the educational element as well. Water. I walked over by the Imagination Pavilion to get the shots of the water things over there for this video, and oh, there's this great big area over here to the right. Seems like they could have put it there, and they would have not had to spend billions of dollars knocking down those two giant buildings. After my Journey of Water experience, I decided, you know what, I'm going to go over to Animal Kingdom. They've got a Moana meet and greet that they've just recently introduced. I got to do it a few months ago, and so I headed on over to the buses, and I was going to hop on a bus, and the buses don't start operating until like 1:30 or something like that between the parks. And I knew that, but didn't think about it because you can't park hop until 2 o'clock. It was only about 11 o'clock in the morning still. So yeah, I don't need to do that. I got to do the Moana meet and greet a couple months ago, so I'm fine. I was going to wait and do this whole video later on. Disney is doing their 100th anniversary movie re-release. They've got 8 different movies they've been re-releasing in theaters. The very last one is going to be Moana, and maybe that'll coincide when the Journey of Water actually does open. Okay, in a nutshell, here's my view of Moana Journey of Water. Journey of Water inspired by Moana. It's kind of like the Hall of Presidents. How is it like the Hall of Presidents, you say? It's educational, okay? It's a place you can go to cool down for a little bit, but it's not a place you'll probably want to go every time you visit the parks. So that fits, right? So until next time, this has been another Mickey's Roundtable adventure. And if you did enjoy this video, you're welcome.